awesome. So everyone's awesome in
Can
this.
we talk about the sexual chemistry between her and Shia LaBeouf?
Oh,
he aggressively pursues her in the first scene that they're together. They don't know each other. She walks into a store and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?
But
I want to get all up in your business." And man, you watch it and go, is that the way you're supposed to approach women?
I wish I had that
See,
approach.
you don't have the charisma and you don't have the looks.
No. Also, aggressively suggests there's negative connotations to it. He's just putting all his cards on the table immediately.
You got a name, you got a number.
Gentlemen, and welcome to episode 51 of Straight to Series. My name is Connor.
And I'm Ian.
And we want to welcome you to this episode of Straight to Series. Yeah. We had our 50th episode last week.
Felt good.
We
got past it.
We did.
I don't think we peaked at 50. That's what I'm going to say. I don't
think we peaked at 50 either, which I'm glad to say.
Yeah.
I worried I peaked at 22, so this is...
yeah.
And actually...
I don't want to even get into that for me.
No. We've had to cut out...
Face like leather now.
We've had to cut out minutes of the podcast before where we only spoke about how depressing the aging process was.
And how I moisturize now.
Yeah. So we don't want to do that again on this one. So we'll give you a quick rundown of what we're going to talk about this week.
Please do.
And we're going to start with Palm Springs, the new Hulu exclusive movie that we watch totally legally.
Oh, of course, because we get that in Ireland, but we don't get that in Ireland,
we don't get that
or
in
the UK, or Europe for that matter. Like, what's going on?
Hulu, why no love for the Europeans?
Yeah, there's some meaty contracts that were signed beforehand. That's what happened because Disney now own Hulu. But it's the new Andy Samberg movie.
Yeah, Lonely Island Productions. Can't
wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
The Shia LaBeouf train continues.
Yeah, I think we've managed to speak about Shia LaBeouf for the last 3 episodes.
No, I've been talking about him for years, to be honest with you. He's been on my mind.
Yeah.
That boy's been on my mind.
It was a movie Ian watched a while ago that we decided we'd review for this episode.
It all started with Tax Collector trailer dropping. Basically. And we're like, don't we both love Shia LaBeouf now?
Yeah, after Honey Boy. Check out our review of that, by the way, episode 49, just put up on YouTube.
Great movie.
Great movie. And then we're going to talk about the new Netflix movie starring
Jamie Foxx.
And
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, August 16th, I believe, is when it's coming out.
Okay, can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I've watched that trailer like 5 times now.
Project Power. Looks fun.
And then we're going to talk about a movie down the line for Netflix called The Grey Man. Which features... interesting people.
I like that teaser right there.
That one.
You got me on the hook, and I don't even know who's in it.
And then there'll be a few bits, pieces in between. We'll probably go off on a tangent at some stage.
The
usual.
There's gonna be. We ramble in the jangle.
Yeah, that's what this. That was funny enough. The original name of this podcast, Ramble in the Jangle, and then Straight to Series was changed.
Yeah. Sure. So let's get into it.
Palm Springs.
Yes, Andy Samberg.
Cristin, Milioti.
I think he stuck the landing the first time.
Oh, yeah.
J.K. Simmons.
Tyler Hoechlin, Superman himself.
Superboy. We learned that he's Superboy after seeing Brandon Root standing next to him, dwarfing him.
I like, by the way, that now when you see photos of Brandon Root as Superman, it is the
Kingdom
Come one as opposed to his original suit.
What a man.
I know.
Holy shit.
He's really grown into himself.
He really has.
Yeah.
He's grown into my heart.
Even when you saw him as the Atom in the show, I was like, damn, you're like...
For a CW show, he looks like he's doing work.
I was going to say, it's like you look more like Superman now than you did when you played Superman.
He's a handsome man.
Yeah, but I think Bryan Singer just likes him lean, you know.
Let's not get... Yeah, but is he young enough?
Lean.
Is he young enough?
I don't
think he was ever young enough for Bryan Singer. And moving right along.
Him and Spacey probably had a good time on that set. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Palm Springs is the new Hulu exclusive. It is a tight 90-minute movie.
Oh, it's a tight 90. Oh. It's beautiful. We were already talking about how we've become obsessed with runtime because we did all the James Bond movies, watched them all back to back, and there's just James Bond. There's one or two that are there's many that are 2 hours and 10 minutes long where you could just scrap 40 minutes.
Let's just cut out that whole plot line right there.
And it was tough. It was hard work at times. So now when you see a tight 90,
you're like, oh, give it to me, baby.
And then it's good as well.
Exactly.
That's the problem. You're watching a 2 hour and 10 minute long bad movie and you're like,
I appreciate it so much more. I think you pointed out to me that we've actually talked about this on the podcast before, but I feel like it's worth saying every time.
I'm obsessed. I'm actually obsessed with runtime now, and I hate being like that.
No, me too. Like, it won't deter me from watching a movie, but at the same time, going into it, I'll be like... Hesitant, yeah.
Hamilton? 2 hours and 40 minutes long?
Yeah.
Fuck me. The minute I seen that, I was like, oh,
I know.
Connor, you fucked me.
Yeah.
And then it was great.
Thankfully, it was great.
It was great.
But, 90-minute movie, directed by Max Barbacow. Basically a time loop movie.
Full on time loop. If you've seen Groundhog Day, you know what a time loop movie is. And it's done wonderfully.
It's done so well. They do a great job of adding... it's an old formula. They do a great job of adding new elements to an old formula.
Yeah, and they're not like... When you see the new elements, you kind of go, obviously...
Yeah.
You know the way it's not like they're pushing the boundaries. It's just like, oh yeah, I never really thought about that. But you made a really good point that Andy Samberg really plays a normal dude.
Totally.
That's caught in a time loop. And how a normal, not that intelligent, not rich kind of guy would deal with being stuck in a time loop for God knows how long.
It's like when, Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, he takes the time to learn so many new skills. He learns so much about individual people.
Yeah, that's so fun when he becomes like a dating wet dream.
Basically, he's like, he learns everyone's ins and outs. He's been through the time loop. He knows how to save everyone on that day, all that stuff. Andy Samberg doesn't know that much. He doesn't even remember how many times he's been in a time loop.
Yeah, he keeps talking about how his memory is shot by now. It's great that he keeps talking about the time loop as in like he could have been there for a decade. We don't know. We really don't know.
Really
and I love that.
Me
I love
too.
how it, and that's kind of this touch of darkness.
Yeah.
That is, I appreciate so much as well.
Yeah. And he doesn't really it's not like he becomes an expert in anything. He just kind of keeps going.
He becomes an expert in not giving a fuck and drinking.
He even talks about how it takes so much work to sleep with someone in there.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's so real.
Yeah.
Because it's set in a wedding. Like he every day he wakes up and he's there as he's a date of a person who's like a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
At a wedding.
She's like the best friend of the bride.
Something
think.
like that. So he literally is just reliving a wedding.
Yeah.
A wedding setting somewhere out in the desert.
Yeah.
And it just so he's there in that party environment, but at the same time, it's not easy to just bed a woman.
No.
And I like that he says that in it.
Or
he's
man.
like
Let's not forget that.
That's so good as well.
Yeah.
So I actually really appreciate that when someone asks him like, how many times who have you fucked? And he's like, not that many. It's so hard to do.
It's really difficult.
Even if you know, if you get to know someone, it's still really hard to just bed someone in less than 24 hours.
Because I remember Bill Murray's
talking as a guy who's working with this face.
Me too.
You work out your muscles, but you can't work out your face.
I live in the Groundhog Day where I try and talk to a woman and I go, damn, I shouldn't have said that, but the day never resets. I just have to continue living with it.
With a broken heart. Let me just tape that broken heart.
Tape that back up together, and then the next
shove it back into the chest.
The next 5 years, when I work up the courage to talk to another woman again, hopefully it goes a little better.
And that's why I can respect my friends who can just knock on every single door until someone answers. I'm like, how do you do that? Rejection, 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 and then eventually someone's like, all right.
I'd start drinking for them, basically, because I feel so embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
They give me drinking problems with their rejection.
I was only talking about a friend. I was only talking to a friend about when you see
now
a
you're
girl,
talking about a friend.
Now I'm talking about I'm talking about
a friend who you were talking to. Yeah.
And I was saying, do you ever see a girl that's way too drunk, but she's so into you that it's such a creepy move, but you just have to catch up because you're gonna go there.
Right, that was not the direction I thought that was going.
So you're like, well, if I get just as drunk as well,
it becomes
and she's already into me.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't be the sober Joe that's going home with the wreck girl.
No, you
know
can't.
what I mean? And I don't mean I'm sober, but I'm lightly buzzed, and this girl is shit faced.
Yeah.
But she's giving me the fuck me eyes. I'm like, well, I better get shit faced really quickly.
I have unfortunately been there, but I've also been in the situation where it's like, you're too drunk, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know,
but then you get that drunk, you go to Marshmallow Town. You know what I mean? You're tumbling in a softie anyway, so no one's getting satisfied.
Get that whiskey dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to unsatisfy you so hard tonight.
Yeah, oh man.
Oh, you better wait. I'm going to change your life, baby.
I can't wait to get as drunk as you so we both have a terrible night and a terrible morning.
Yes.
Yes.
So much friction, and that's about it. We're going to start a fire.
That's about it, yeah. Maybe one sloppy hand job later.
I'm going to give you a rash. I'm going to give you a fucking friction rash.
We're not going to change out of these clothes, and we're going to smell really bad in the morning.
Palm Springs, baby.
Let's get back
What
to
a movie.
Palm Springs. But yeah, basically he makes a great point where he's like, yeah, it takes a lot of work to sleep with someone.
Yeah.
You see it
Even if you study someone, it's still like they're not there to sleep with you.
You see it in Groundhog Day. He goes through so many dates where he says the wrong thing and he's like, fuck, this day's ruined, and he goes off to like reset it or something
And
like
then even when you know someone super well, that can sometimes not work as well because it's disingenuous. Then you're like, okay, that was my answer. What's going on here?
Like for the first time in the movie where we see him try and pick up Cristin Milioti's character, it's really great because he's so smooth going through the dance floor and everything.
Because he knows everybody's moves, so he can he can dance in sync with someone without them even knowing, and then he moves on to the next person and dance in sync with them. I love that.
And he knows someone's gonna fall over, so he just slides over the top of them.
And he's so effortless as well because he's making eyes at her, but he's doing all the dance moves. Great scene. Andy Samberg is just a delightful person.
He is, and it's kind of like it's a really good. It's a comedy, obviously, very funny movie. We should say
it's Lonely Island, so it's going to be a comedy.
And I'm glad that there's a movie by the Lonely Island that's getting a lot of praise, actually, because Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping is a great movie,
but no one's seen it.
No one's seen it. Doesn't get the praise it deserves.
Made no money.
Yeah,
and but see, this is the thing is. It's not nuanced because it shouldn't be. It's just it's such a goofball movie and it's so funny. Where this one, it has levels.
It has levels. Anyway, just to get back to, I didn't mean to take us on a tangent, but to get back to Andy Samberg, there's actually a lot of depth to his performance. And like when we talk about Bill Burr in the King of Staten Island, it's nice to be able to point to someone you like as a comedian and as a person and say, this is actually a really good performance by him.
Yeah, definitely. Because even though he's always really good comedically, like this guy's, he's got nuances to him. Yeah. His character's got nuances.
Like Cristin, she is
smiling through the pain.
Smiling through the pain. Yeah, that's Andy Samberg.
That's Andy Samberg.
But Cristin Milioti, she has loads of great performances to point to.
Can I just buy her smile?
Yeah,
her smile is delightful.
She is. She's delightful in the whole thing, and she's underrated actress or actor, I think, because she's in. I
always see her in small bits.
Yeah,
you know that way, like she.
You pointed out, I think she's in the best episode of the second best episode of Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. Oh my God, she pops so much, and it's because when I say the smile, it's because she looks so innocent, and that's what makes her performance in that show even better.
Yeah, and you point out that she's in the best episode of Mythic Quest as well.
Mythic Quest, and what I hate about me saying that it's the best episode is because it's the episode that's completely different than any other episode, and it's also the episode where none of the usual cast members are in it, and that's why it feels weird saying that, because I'm a It's Always Sunny fan and also a Rob McElhenney absolute fanboy, but he directed that episode, but he's not in it. No one else is in it, really. It's her and Jake Johnson.
I was going to say, it also features...
What a power couple.
What
a cute power couple as well. What an adorable power couple.
That'd be some adorable children. Adorably talented children.
Talented. Oh my God, they'd bed you so easily.
I was going to say, it features one of the straight-to-series crushes, Jake Johnson, you know?
What a guy.
We need to get a list of straight-to-series...
He's making the average Joe...
Look great.
Look so good. So good.
You said you recently watched Tag as well, and he's great in that.
He's the best. Well, him and Hannibal Buress I thought were brilliant.
Even though you said you didn't like that movie as much. I thought it was pretty good, I have to say. It was better than I expected it to be.
Isla Fisher as well pops.
She does.
Really, she's hilarious in that.
She is, yeah. But she's always hilarious.
She's good as an intense individual, because it reminds me of Wedding Crashers.
I knew you were going to say that.
She's so good at playing crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe she is crazy.
Maybe she is. Maybe she goes out with Sacha Baron Cohen.
So you gotta be. She fucking married Sacha Baron Cohen.
She married him, you know. So you got to be a bit crazy to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're gonna get in the morning.
All you know is he's gonna have an accent.
Exactly. And most likely a good, strong mustache.
Yeah.
That guy's got a lip carpet to subscribe to. Like.
Oh man, I wish I could grow a lip carpet like his.
No,
or like Will Ferrell. He's got that good Ron Burgundy.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's really good. Palm Springs.
We should get a list of straight-to-series crushes, by the way. We should develop a list of it.
Yeah, and it's all just males.
It's mainly men. And Rebecca Ferguson, but only for her legs.
I keep getting just for her legs. Like such a talented person. I'll just take the legs.
A talented, beautiful, thoroughly great person. Just want her legs.
Just want her legs. Thank you.
Yeah. Palm Springs. What else is there to say about it? I mean, it's hilarious. It's brings a new take on a time loop, and it does a good job of establishing rules that are easy to understand.
So easy. Like, you don't question them for a second. You're like, okay, that's what we're going with.
And actually add a lot of like make this time loop unique to a certain extent, you know.
And I would say where we get Andy Samberg kind of stepping into an uncomfortable zone, maybe performance wise, where he's sad, like as I said, grinning through the trauma in a way. J.K. Simmons pops as a comedic funhouse, like,
oh, he's great.
He's so fun, and I know he's done comedic performances before,
Juno,
but I always just think of him as the intense music teacher,
from
you know,
Whiplash, I know.
From Whiplash.
I think of him as Commissioner Gordon from the greatest movie of all time, Justice League.
Yeah. Hashtag release the Snyder cut.
Release the Snyder cut.
It's happening. You don't even need the hashtag.
Hashtag release the Ayer cut, baby. Hashtag release the Schumacher cut. Actually, we're going to go on a quick tangent here to talk about the Joel Schumacher cut. Or should we talk about it later?
Way more nipples.
Yes.
I heard way more butt shots of Val Kilmer. No, it's actually supposed to be super dark.
Yeah.
Well, not super dark, but as dark as Joel Schumacher can get.
Yeah, 40 more. Well, I mean,
how
he
dark
did
can
Lost
you get
Boys.
and sell toys? Yeah, I know, but that was when he wasn't rented director.
That's true, yeah.
You know?
But yeah, there's 40 minutes more to Batman Forever, apparently, that Joel Schumacher did. And David Ayer, you can take your trash and go home. I want Joel Schumacher's cut of Batman Forever.
I so want that. I so want that. It's funny how it's supposedly 14 minutes.
Yeah.
We're both like, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that
now.
100%.
Give me it now. Let me shove it down my throat right now.
I want to see it.
Okay, easy Joel. Easy Joel. When I said shove it down my throat, I was like, I know. Up in heaven, he's in movie heaven. He's like, whoa. He's got cocks everywhere. The guy's like a glorious gay man.
He is. He's the best type of gay man.
Just read one of his interviews.
That's
all I say.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
Just
what a bragger. What humble brag. Slept like with every man.
Yeah, slept with like every man I've ever met. I don't think I've met 10,000 men, let alone slept with them. But the Joel Schumacher cut, like, if that ever happens, I would love to see it. Batman Forever is
HBO Max.
Please.
Drop it there.
The difference between the Suicide Squad and Batman Forever isn't a great movie, but it's a fun bad movie, and the Suicide Squad is a terrible movie and will always be a terrible movie.
If you tell me there's more of Jim Carrey being the Riddler, but also being very much Jim Carrey, I want it. I want any of that. I want to snort a line of Jim Carrey as the Riddler, please. It'll go down easy. It'll go down smooth.
And if you tell me that there's
it'll
more...
go down while I'm laughing.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you tell me there's more of Tommy Lee Jones being fed up of Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey as the Riddler, I want to see that, baby.
Yeah, the tension. I want to see more of the tension.
He could not sanction his buffoonery. I'll never forget that line as long as I live.
Tommy Lee Jones is trying to be a buffoon.
The coin. We are so confused about this.
I want it. Give me it.
Give me it. Please.
I want more nipples.
Apparently Val Kilmer stares at a giant bat at one stage. It's awesome. Okay. I really hope it happens. I'm in. Anyway, back to Palm Springs. That was our little Schumacher cut side note. We want the Snyder fans to get on it.
Yeah. Big time.
That's the next one.
Take a break from the Snyder cut. Oh, not the Snyder cut.
Ayer cut.
You succeeded with the Snyder cut.
You got the Snyder cut. Leave the Ayer cut alone. Get us the Schumacher cut. Please.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Add a few extra inches to that movie, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
I just wanted to penetrate my soul.
I get it, Ian. I get it. Whenever we talk about Joel Schumacher,
what am I saying?
You just get
I just want to lick it up. I just want to lick that movie up.
You want it to get all over you, and you just lick it up.
Oh man, I just want it. I want to watch that movie so hard.
You want it
so hard,
it to finish
so deeply,
all over you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to feel the movie come inside me.
I don't even think.
Okay.
None of those were clever innuendos in any way, shape, or form. No. I don't think.
No.
We would not win an award for those comedic bits.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to watch the movie.
It's just like gay porn, basically, is what it sounds like.
Palm Springs. So it's a Hulu original. Hulu bought it at the Sundance Film Festival.
Yeah.
And it broke records. It was the largest purchase ever by 69 cents, which is a hilarious number to start with. It's a Lonely Island number.
Yeah,
it's a Lonely Island number. So I don't know what was the movie that held the record beforehand, but either way, it was purchased by Hulu and Neon.
Okay.
I don't know if that's Neon Productions or Neon Studios, whatever. And it was purchased for 17.5 million.
Yeah.
And supposedly it broke the record of the highest purchase at Sundance Film Festival by 69 cents. Yeah. Which is interesting.
That's a cool story.
It's pretty cool. And then later on, it was actually revealed that once you add in the financial guarantees, which I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably something to do with the bonus system.
Yeah.
When a movie does really well, film stars get bonuses and all like that.
Yeah.
So when you factor it all in, it's 22 million, which is decent since the budget of this movie was 5 million.
Which is amazing that this movie is doing so well.
I love when a low budget movie just teaches people, teaches Michael Bay, hey, you can make a good movie for nothing.
Yeah.
That's pennies to him.
Michael Bay doesn't know if his movies...
That's like a wheel on Optimus Prime to him, you know what I mean?
Michael Bay doesn't know if his movies... He judges how well they are by how many stuntmen he killed when he was making it.
It's like, Jesus. Dark.
Listen, people die making Transformers films. I just think that's insane. Anyway.
It is insane.
You were also telling me that Hulu, it's like the most watched or something like that. You had some great way of putting it.
Well, the way they put it, let me see, where is it? They said, right, that Hulu said that in its first 3 days of release, it was the most hours watched. So they counted the most hours.
As opposed to most views, which is what Netflix always says, right? So
the thing is, with Netflix do this weird thing where I forget the threshold, but it's way too low. It's like if you watch a movie on Netflix for, I think it's like a minute or 2 minutes, to count that as a full watch. So they're just like, oh, that's been watched 89 million times. Isn't that what they said for Extraction?
Yeah, 89 million. Yeah, for Extraction.
It's like the highest viewed Netflix original
movie
ever.
Yeah.
But the problem is...
And the best action movie they put out this year.
Easily. I couldn't even think of another movie that would get even
come close to that. Maybe the Power Project will be.
I hope so.
Or Project Power, excuse me.
Project Power.
Yeah, but no other movie comes close.
No. Not even close. But either way, this Hulu, I like how Hulu put it. It's like this movie had the most hours. How can I put it? Like it collected the most hours in 3 days of release.
Yeah, it basically had the most hours watched of any movie. Like people sat through it for the most amount of time. Yeah, basically.
All their other movies. Now, I assume that is Hulu originals.
Yeah, I assume it's Hulu originals.
And there's not a tremendous amount of Hulu originals, but still, it's a pretty cool feat. And I just really like that they say hours watched rather than viewings.
Well, it's a more legitimate way of
of gauging it.
Gauging how well it did.
Because here's the thing, okay?
Yeah.
So if you want to equate that, a lot of times what say a movie website or a movie publication will say is, well, what does that equate to box office receipts? If say, what was it, Six Underground, Michael Bay's Netflix movie, that had huge viewing numbers. What would that equate to box office receipts if it was released in cinema? Now, if you're telling me that someone only watched it for 2 minutes, even 5 minutes, you telling me they would pay cinema ticket prices to go see it? There's no way. There's no way. They're just dipping in and dipping out. They're like, it's probably not for me. I'll give it a go. Oh, it's not for me. I'm finished with it.
I gave it a go. I'm finished.
I gave it a go. Yeah. Those people are not the people who are going, oh, well, I'll give you my hard-earned money to sit in the cinema for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not an apples to apples comparison.
No.
Where the way Hulu's looking at it, I respect it.
I respect
your game, Hulu.
Hulu, we respect you.
Yeah.
Even though you don't come here and show us stuff that
you're owned by Disney.
You're owned by Disney, so...
The Mouse House.
Mouse House making money.
It's like Mouse House Dark. That's what Hulu is.
By the way, there was I was reading an article about the next Deadpool movie, and they think it's going to be released. There won't be a shining castle in front of it when they put it out. It'll be like the Foxx logo, I'd say.
Cool.
I'm not surprised, but at least
give me it.
As long as it's R-rated.
Yeah.
I'd love the idea.
A dark castle would be really cool, wouldn't it be? Like if it was a haunted castle.
Yeah.
I know maybe that's too on the nose, but I don't really care.
I'd like the idea that the Deadpool 3 script, I was thinking about this recently, I had an idea for it, is that he's hired by Disney to kill off the X-Men universe. So basically he has to go through and kill every character from the X-Men Fantastic Four universe so they can use them in his, and that's how you do Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, basically.
I would argue that would be a great short movie.
Yeah.
But then I want like kind of a Deadpool movie that gives me a little bit of character development.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's such a gimmick movie that you probably wouldn't get a good character movie out of it.
But a Marvel one-shot.
Marvel one-shot, definitely.
Revisit that whole idea.
He has to go kill the the X-Men universe, basically.
And we actually get Wolverine. Like, we actually get Hugh Jackman for one day on set. Like, really. I know he's kind of in.
Yeah, he has to kill every version they have of Stryker.
I know he's, like, kind of in Deadpool, by the way. Like, Deadpool 2. But he's not. Yeah. He's not, you know. I want to see them engage.
He is. He's on a plinth being impaled as an alarm clock. From the studio who killed Wolverine. Isn't that what it is?
That's what it says. Excellent. But he's in the post-credit scene as well.
Yeah, sorry, he is.
But he's not, but he is.
He is, but he isn't.
Yeah.
He is. I am enamored, you know?
Yeah. But either way, I do... sorry, just to get back to the way Hulu are measuring the success of Palm Springs, that's such a nice way of measuring it because it's legitimate.
Yeah.
I really don't like the underhandedness of Netflix, where it's just kind of like, this is super successful. I'd love to know the numbers of like the watching numbers, like the hours viewed.
There's no way people didn't sit all the way through Extraction, though. You know what I mean?
I know, but like it's for every movie.
Oh, sorry, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like for a movie like that, I understand if people are glued to it. But like Six Underground, or The Wrong Missy, or any Adam Sandler movie,
exactly,
that could have been turned off in the first 5 minutes.
That's a dip in, dip out situation. That's really you're trying to decompress for a second, and then you go, okay, I don't want to decompress this much. Like I'm actually getting stupid watching this. You just feel your brain cells dripping out of your ear while you're watching
Except I've watched Murder Mystery all the way through, and you've watched The Wrong Missy all the way through.
And I was entertained.
Yeah.
I was in the perfect zone for that, though. That was when I was like...
Clinically brain dead?
Yeah, I was like, fuck life for a minute, you know that way? Like, I've been working too hard. You sit down, and you're just like,
you know who else thinks
zombie.
About saying fuck life? The characters in Palm Springs. Brought it all the way back.
I like it.
Thank you.
It's on 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
91% user reviews as well, so that's really good.
Super high.
And well deserved. It's a great movie. I think that they do a really good job of... There's a lot of darkness to time loop movies, even in Groundhog Day. Like, it's super dark.
He starts committing suicide in Groundhog Day. I always remember that in the trailer, even.
I know. It's mad. But I think they do a great... Or even when he can't save people. Like, there's that homeless guy who dies, and everything he tries, he can never save that one guy.
Yeah, there's certain things you just can't change. Yeah. It's destined to happen.
And that's why I love this movie, because they do such a good job of leaning into the darkness of the whole thing.
Big time.
Yeah, like there's a line in this movie that I don't mind spoiling, but he's like, there's nothing worse than waking up in the dying slowly in the ICU. You know?
Yes.
And
you get the impression that it could have been self-inflicted.
Yeah.
And also not self-inflicted.
Yeah. Andy Samberg, at the beginning of this movie, you never find out how he gets in the loop, but I think it's a really cool idea that he's just like... He's so conditioned by this whole thing, and they play into that.
And his history's ambiguous as well, and he makes it ambiguous. He doesn't want to tell the other person. Well, I'm sure if you've seen the trailer, like she gets dragged into the time loop as well.
So, it's just all around just a really cool movie. Really,
and
liked
it adds levels to the time loop.
Yeah.
Genre that I've never seen before, which is so funny that it's like the Lonely Island productions that bring these fresh elements to like an overdone kind of concept.
It's not over.
The loop is so easily done in a way.
It's not overdone, definitely, but I would say it's saturated. It can be a saturated market at times. Like we've had 2 Happy Death Day 2Us recently. Yeah. We've also had...
Also, I must say, I gravitate towards these movies.
Yeah.
It's fun, and sometimes you don't even need to try that hard.
That's true.
Where these really try. And I really appreciate it.
Me too. And they do a good job of showing how... We spoke about this earlier, but there's normal conversations between these people, and they feel real. And some of the stuff they get up to, some of their hijinks is such a like... They're clearly not sociopaths. Like, they don't go around killing people. They go around just doing stupid, stupid things for no reason other than sheer boredom. Yeah. And you get that impression.
Big time.
So, we couldn't recommend this enough.
It's such an entertaining package right there. Like, it's tight 90. What else do you need? You know, you like, it's just 90 minutes of pure entertainment. And it will move you. And you'll be, like, shocked that all of a sudden you're moved.
Yeah. And we won't say, like... The story is some ways predictable, but at the same time, you don't mind that you're predicting what's happening.
Do you do a predictable story in a fun, entertaining way?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's laugh out loud at times.
It is laugh out loud.
And yet it's not laugh out loud at times as well. You know that way? And then they're great and appreciated. Like, I appreciate those moments.
Me too. I appreciate them more sometimes when, like... Yeah. It's not catching me with the obvious joke. It's getting me with something else. Even some of the dark humor in this, because obviously it can be dark, but like
be really dark.
It's very funny. It's like Groundhog Day. The if it was made now. So they do a lot of drugs at times.
A lot of drugs, a lot of
they
alcohol.
skip Bill Murray's drug stage
exactly.
in Groundhog Day, funny enough, probably because it was made in the 80s.
Probably.
But everyone check out this movie if you're in America, and if you're in Europe, find a way to watch it.
Yeah, it's so shit that this isn't. They have no deal for Netflix over here. Usually that's what happens. Like Netflix will buy the international rights to it. So it's weird how for now there's no way of getting this. Even if you go onto iTunes right now, you can't buy it. You can't rent it.
I tried to rent it on YouTube, wasn't there?
It's so weird. It's odd when it happens like that.
Really
certain
annoying.
movies kind of get lost.
Yeah.
Because then like the viewership, clearly people like it. And maybe we'll get a theatrical release over here.
If it is, I've already seen it.
Yeah, I know.
I'd bring a date to it.
Yeah, great date movie.
It is a great
date movie. Because you're like, hey, you like to laugh, but then she's sitting through it and goes, oh, but he's a bit deep as well because this has layers to it. And I'm like, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
You don't know me. Get to know me.
I'd pretend I hadn't seen it before.
And
then at the end I go like, man, that was really great, wasn't it?
Wow, were you surprised at times?
You surprised at how good that movie was?
Hit me with the emotion at times?
Yeah. It's like, I'm glad.
Did you cry? And she goes, yeah. I'm like, well, I didn't cry because I'm a man and I've never cried in my entire life. Yeah. But I like that you cried. You know?
We're just manipulative bastards, basically.
Oh, yeah, I'm a creep. I'm an absolute creep.
Right. We should move on to continue our Shia LaBeouf love fest.
Oh, the Shia LaBeouf-a-thon?
LaBeouf-a-thon?
LaBeouf.
We're love hour?
Yeah.
The LaBeouf love hour?
We're considering LaBeoufing our faces.
Yeah. We're still talking about that.
Measured approach, though, we need. We're afraid. You know, I don't have much to work with already.
I'd want his advice on it, definitely.
Definitely. I'd like to get him involved in my life.
For sure. Just in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe he can give me a sweet tattoo as well while we're at it.
Yeah. Which allows him to do whatever he wants whenever he's playing
he's like,
a role.
you want to, like maybe just something small, like maybe your whole chest. And they're like, no, Shia.
No, Shia.
You crazy man.
He's like, okay, so I'm thinking of your LaBeouf in your face, so what we're going to do is cut off your arm. Whoa, where did that come from?
Shia, bring it back if you.
Come from?
Bring it back if. Think of your treatment.
Yeah.
Bring it back if you.
Bring it back.
Crazy man.
Can't call out everything you see in the room.
But then I'd be like, okay, take my arm, you're a beautiful man.
He's a beautiful man. Yeah, Peanut Butter Falcon. It was a movie that came out the same year as Honey Boy, 2019.
2019 was Shia LaBeouf's renaissance.
Yeah, but you pointed out to me it was actually filmed in 2017.
Yeah, so this took a while to actually get released, and we were calling it the Peanut Butter and Honey combo.
Yeah,
because this was a definitive year for his career. It was a career defining year. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you were saying to me about like why it took so long for it to come out as well, though.
Was I?
Yeah, it was filmed in 2017, and then that was the same year that. Didn't he go into recap that year?
Yeah, no, I couldn't find if that was definitely like why it was held for a while or put on a shelf. But yeah, he got arrested that on the set, not on the set, but on location. He got arrested for being drunken and disorderly because that's what Shia LaBeouf did for a while. He had that kind of 5-year trip where he was in and out of prison and
doing all those art installations and things
and doing a lot of drugs,
trolled by the internet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is breakdown pretty much. Period. Basically. Sadly, and he was arrested, and I think this is me just connecting the dots in my head, but maybe that was the time where he got arrested, and the judge said, "You're gonna spend some years in prison, or do you want to go to rehab?" And then he picks rehab, and then he writes a beautiful movie called Honey Boy. And then so these are connected in the Shia LaBeouf, the LaBeouf verse, LaBeouf verse,
the SBU.
The SBU,
Shia LaBeouf universe.
Yeah, so
which is actually technically our universe.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, yeah. So
if that was the case, maybe he couldn't do press then because he was in rehab.
The timelines add up. Well, no, he ended up doing press because the movie didn't come out in 2017.
Exactly. So maybe that's why he pushed it back.
Yeah,
because he couldn't do press. You know what I mean?
Couldn't do anything really.
Yeah, exactly. Except write a beautiful movie and become a better person.
Yeah. Well, he points out that his co-star Zach. What's his name? Zach plays
Gosling.
Zach Gosling plays a character with Down syndrome in this. It's his first debut movie role. He's amazing. But Shia LaBeouf says that Zach Gosling is making him a better person. They text on the daily.
It's so beautiful.
Great friends, and when you see interviews, that you can see their camaraderie and friendship.
Oh, they look like great friends.
Yeah.
And it's so believable as well. It's not like he's just saying that for good press. Like, I worked with this guy and now like I'm sort of his mate. Like they say they text all the time and they have in-jokes.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice to see them talking. And LaBeouf just seems to be enamored with Zach, which is great.
Zach is he seems like a cool guy, but we should get into like the plot of this because I don't think we've explained it. But Peanut Butter Falcon is basically, it's described as a modern Mark Twain story.
Yes.
And it's about this criminal played by Shia LaBeouf who,
criminal but not a criminal really.
He's a guy
he's sought after by goons.
A scoundrel with a heart of gold. Like Han Solo
that.
or Indiana Jones.
Subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, scoundrel with a heart of gold. And
a few goons are after him, and he's a tortured soul as well.
Down on his luck. He has a history of something terrible happened to him recently,
and now he just can't help but hurt himself.
Yeah,
essentially, he's putting himself in situations where he's paying for his past.
Yeah. And then he runs into Zach, who has escaped from an old folks' home because no one wants to foster him.
Yeah, his parents, his family just pretty much disregarded him because he has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And since they had no real good place to put him in, he's just lost in an old folks' home.
In an old folks'
home.
The
state just put him in an old folks' home. So he's there with loads of older people.
Yeah.
He's 22 in the movie.
But he's actually 30 in real life. You pointed out to me, which is insane.
Yeah, so he's kind of finding his whole experience a little traumatizing.
Yeah, and he ends up escaping and wants to run off to become a professional wrestler. And that's the two of them meet up.
They both end up being on the run.
Yeah, and they go on this adventure together through Louisiana, is it?
Georgia?
Georgia, excuse me.
Well,
Georgia.
It was filmed in Georgia anyway. Yeah. And it's like the unlikely duo that just make this beautiful friendship, over time.
Dakota Johnson plays his minder, and she's equally
Zach's
as charming.
Minder, who has to go find him because he escaped.
And it's just an all-around great film. Like
it's such a feel-good movie, but done in such a lovely, clever way.
Again, 1 hour 41 minutes, I believe you pointed out. No, sorry.
I have it here.
Hour 41.
Yeah, and 98 minutes. It's 98 minutes actually. It's 98 minutes. So tight 98.
Tight 98. No chaff.
Not a single ounce of fat on the bones. Yeah. It's excellent right the way through. Doesn't dip for a second. No, it actually doesn't. It dips, it's only dipping in pace, but not in quality.
And you pointed out actually that Dakota Johnson, she's had the Robert Pattinson effect on her life, as you said
Twilight
to me.
Twilight pretty much fucked his career, made his career, and disabled it at the same time.
No respect for him as an actor.
Exactly, and all my friends as well, as like Bobby Patts is playing Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? And then you have to watch something like Good Time. The Safdie brothers have to pull him out of the shit.
The Lighthouse,
just to highlight that, hey, he's a good actor. And with Dakota Johnson, all I think of is 50 Shades of Grey, and I've never liked her because of that.
No.
And I've never even seen the movies. I've seen the trailers, and I've talked to people. I've talked to girls because it's such a girls' night out type of movie, and I've talked to them, and any girl that I know who's seen it always talk about how it's trash, but I don't care. But it's absolute trash. And then even I remember talking to a girl that's seen the second and third one and said, by the third one, it's trash and I wasn't even enjoying it. And I'm 5 cocktails in and I'm ladies' night out, still not enjoying it. She's like, it's too trashy.
I've only seen the third one.
You've only seen the third one?
I was home one night alone.
Okay, the lotion was there by your bed.
No, I was...
Oh, no lotion. Okay, so there was no lotion.
I was in the front.
But you were by your bed.
I was in my sitting room. I was
drinking. Hoodie on.
Yeah, hoodie on. Hood up, drinking. And I sat through all 2 hours of 50 Shades Freed.
It's 2 hours long.
Yeah, it was a terrible movie.
Wow. Did you end it in a cold sweat? That's what I want to ask.
I think I did. I ended it...
Was there a scent of disappointment?
I ended it in alcoholism. And this is how much I wanted to torture myself back then. I would pause the movie when I went out to get more drinks so I wouldn't miss anything.
You look in the mirror, you deserve this. You deserve every minute of this movie.
It was a particular low point in my life, I will say.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. It was
you think you know someone.
It was a depressing experience.
Wow. But, but either way, that movie kind of ruined her career, made her career, and ruined it in a way. Because then there's so many people like me small-minded pricks that just kind of go, oh, well, she's that girl, so I don't like her.
Shades, yeah.
I don't like her. And she pops in this.
Yeah, she's awesome. So everyone's awesome in
Can
this.
we talk about the sexual chemistry between her and Shia LaBeouf?
Oh,
he aggressively pursues her in the first scene that they're together. They don't know each other. She walks into a store and he's like, hey, how you doing?
But even
I want to get all up in your business. And man, you watch it and go, is that the way you're supposed to approach women?
I wish I had that
See,
approach.
you don't have the charisma and you don't have the looks.
No. Also, aggressively suggests there's negative connotations to it. He's just putting all his cards on the table immediately.
You got a name? You got a number?
No, he starts with the number and then he goes for the name.
The name.
He's
Oh,
like, you
yeah,
got
yeah.
a name? And she's like, yeah, I got a name. And he's like, okay. Oh,
All
no,
right.
show, you got a number? Yeah, I got a number. I'm not going to give it to you. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Holler for you? She's like, yeah, do that. You got a name then? And then it's like, oh, so charming.
My God, it's just so aggressive, but in the best kind of way. Yeah, exactly. When you say aggressive, you think it's
Negative.
problematic.
No.
But it's not. It's just, you'd have to witness how he does it, because it's literally how I think loads of guys see themselves in their head 5 drinks deep, and you're actually just being an absolute asshole. You know, where
Yeah.
you're like, you look good.
Yeah,
Give me you.
Whereas
Give me you.
I'm like first attempt Groundhog Day or Palm Springs. Like that's how I think all my flirting goes. It's like the first time they tried and it didn't go very well. That's my approach.
I'm more like, this physical representation, this is not the best me. Can we talk? Can I make you laugh? Can we go to the smoking area where you can hear me and I can try and make you laugh by mocking this physical appearance?
Yeah, that's
that's my best approach.
That's me too.
I've learned.
Yeah.
And especially when none of my tall, good-looking friends are around me. I need to get the goofball who thinks he's charming but is an asshole, and I go, hey, I'm not him.
I'm not him.
I'm not him.
In a
He bad, me not as bad.
In a comparative situation, I am winning.
Yeah, exactly. And then I throw him under the bus by mocking him.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Aren't we both great friends?
Yes.
I should say, because that's exactly my style too.
Best wingman.
Best wingman ever. No, but Peanut Butter Falcon sits at a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes,
And
both
it deserves-
critically and from the audience, which
Hell
is awesome.
Yes.
It's a perfect movie. You said you gave it a 7.5 out of 7.5.
There we go.
And I'd agree with you. Yeah.
And if no one understands what we're talking about, 7.5, we've talked about this. We did a lot of calculations,
We did, yeah.
a lot of deliberation, and we decided that 7.5 is the best grading system for a movie ever.
It's straight to series rating system, and frankly, I'd be hard pushed to find anyone that was better than it, or one that has been more extensively thought about or trial and errored.
Respect our ways.
Yeah.
Respect our ways.
Respect the craft.
Yeah.
We take this very seriously.
7.5 out of 7.5 is what I give this movie, and I actually mean that though. It's perfect.
Yeah.
If it was that stupid star rating 5 out of 5, I would give it.
Or 10 out of
but I don't want to
10.
use that. Like, that's a bit. Meh.
Who wants to count to 10? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Such a slog to get there. Yeah, I know.
I'm bored already.
Asleep by 9. So 7.5 out of 7.5. But I'm going to throw you under the bus here. This movie made you cry.
I've never cried in my entire life because I'm a man.
Yeah, but
if I wanted to,
if you did potentially cry or had it in you to cry,
Shia LaBeouf's a beautiful man, okay? And he gives such a beautiful performance. And knowing that this came before his trip to rehab makes it even more touching. And there's a moment where he kind of just lets his emotions out because the character's a very strong dude. There's a lot of dark past that's just over his head, But there's a moment where he kind of lets it all out, and I almost let it all out too. But I've never cried in my entire life because I'm a man. I'm a manly man as well, alpha male.
Of course not, and neither have I ever, except when Luke Skywalker died.
Yeah, but that's cool time to cry.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a man's time to cry.
Yeah, that's such a cool time to cry.
Yeah, that was that one time. It was one tear.
One tear.
Let's no big deal. Let's not talk about it.
It's like when real men cry, like they watch the bridge over the River Kwai, and then when they blow up the bridge at the end, a single tear rolls down their eye, and they just
tastes like whiskey.
Sniff it all up. Yeah, whiskey and cigars.
Exactly, is what that tear tastes like.
It's what I imagine Nick.
It's what my sadness smells like and tastes like.
It's what I imagine Nick Offerman crying over.
Yes.
As the ultimate man. That's what I think would happen. Anyway,
and his mustache just gathers those tears.
If he has it at that time, or maybe it's his beautiful beard. What a man! I love Nick Offerman. He's actually such a cool guy.
What a voice!
What a voice! What an actor!
What a voice to command a battalion. You know what I mean?
He's good at ballet as well. He's been a ballet dancer for years. Yeah.
Really?
Really. 100%.
So he just ticks every box.
He's just amazing.
Jeez, okay.
I know. Anyway, yeah, so this movie is just a modern Mark Twain classic. It's amazing, and they address the fact that it's clearly harkening back to that. It was directed by two people, and they actually wrote the part of Zach for the actor whose name happens to be Zach. Yeah.
Now, there's their names there. Tyler Nilsson and Michael Schwartz wrote and directed this movie. They actually met Zach at a camp, and Zach, being such just a pure soul,
Apparently never gets nervous as well.
yeah, he said it himself.
Yeah.
He came up to them and told them how he wanted to be a famous actor and a famous wrestler, and they just were inspired by. I think it's just his unfiltered, but beautifully innocent kind of style.
Yeah.
And they decided to write a movie about him. And Ben Foster was going to play
Really?
the role of Tyler, which is the Shia LaBeouf role.
Yeah.
And if you think of like a cool southern type of actor with pure grit, like some serious grit, it's Ben Foster.
Yeah. I need to look up this guy. Sorry.
You know who Ben Foster is?
No, I know who he is, but I can't picture him at the moment. You know,
the first Angel in the X-Men movies.
No, yeah. Oh, sorry,
Or
I got him now.
Hell or High Water
I've seen
with Chris Pine.
I've seen Angel. Oh yeah.
Leave No Trace.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know who he is now.
Oh, he's in that movie with Justin Timberlake.
In Time.
No, not In Time, and not Runner either.
He's in Ocean's 11. He's one of the brothers in Oceans. Isn't he brothers with Casey Affleck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in what's the movie with Lone Survivor? He's in Lone Survivor. He's like Fear the Reaper, and have you seen that movie?
I have seen that movie.
Yeah. Ben Foster is an excellent actor, and
I'm just glad it's Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, well, see, I adore Ben Foster. I think he's so good, and he dropped out and he rang Shia LaBeouf and offered a role to him.
Oh, that's cool.
So he was like, I think you'd be great for this role.
And he is.
And I really think if you think of Ben Foster, you should see Hell or High Water with him and Chris Pine. He literally is a tortured brother, and wink wink, but like it's
John Bernthal's in this movie.
John Bernthal is his brother.
Yeah,
we can say that.
Yeah, we can say that.
It's such a sneaky cameo.
I know.
You don't know he's in there.
Yeah,
but he's in there, and like, who would play Shia LaBeouf's brother better? Like, we know they have chemistry from Fury, and just they've talked in interviews about how they love each other and like they're brothers.
Yeah, it seems like a movie where everyone really got on and loved each other.
Yeah, exactly. So it was so nice to see John Bernthal just snuck in there.
Yeah.
But either way, Ben Foster was supposed to play the real lead role, and since he had to dip out for whatever reason, I think his wife got pregnant, and he decided he wanted. He's such a good guy.
Wives are always
getting
getting pregnant.
He's going to die from a good case of good guy syndrome. So instead, he decided, hey, I'm going to hang out with my pregnant wife and care for her because he's a great individual. So he rang Shia LaBeouf and said, hey, you'd be great for this role. And he was right.
Yeah.
Casting director Ben Foster right there.
Get him casting. It's just such a great movie. And I want to... I've forgotten what I wanted to do now. Yeah, I wanted to call out the fact that it's a great representation of someone who has Down syndrome, because the movie is very funny, but I never felt like I was laughing at
him,
at the fact that he had Down syndrome, which is weird. It's a minefield trying to say this as a sentence, but
because you don't want to incriminate yourself, because totally when you watch this movie, Zach, the actor who actually has Down syndrome, of course. He says such funny, playful things, and I think it's because of his non-filter and because of his pure innocence as well, that it's laugh out loud funny. But you're not laughing at him because of his condition.
No,
not at all. Which is, we were saying, what a line to kind of walk. That must be difficult for a screenwriter to do, because they stick the landing. And I know it might sound weird to say that, because if even Shia LaBeouf got called out for laughing at Zach at the Oscars, where really they have such great chemistry that they were just having fun together.
Fun with it,
you know, and people straight away, the vultures, like if you see Shia LaBeouf in any press junket.
He loves Zach.
Loves him. It's so pure, so real.
Any excuse he gets to chat up talk about how much he likes Zach, he uses basically.
Yeah.
Even when Zach's sitting right next to him.
Exactly. So. But yet the screenwriters, Jesus Christ, they stick the landing when it comes to representation of a person with Down syndrome.
It won an award, didn't it?
Well, it got a seal of. It won a few awards, but it got a seal of approval by. Let me see. The Ruderman Family Foundation gave the movie its seal of authentic representation, a seal of approval of authentic representation of an accurate depiction of a person with Down syndrome, which is a big deal.
Yeah,
and that I think that kind of gives our sentence a bit more. I don't know, weight, because it's hard to explain because you'd have to watch it, but definitely you're laughing at some of the things he says, but never laughing at him.
No.
Which is so difficult to do.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we felt that way. We felt that way before we knew that it actually won an award for it, so it was kind of justifying to hear that we were like, oh, we were right about it, you know.
Everything about this movie is authentic.
It's amazing.
The friendship
is so authentic,
which makes sense then when you see that they're real friends in real life. And we should say to Shia LaBeouf, he seems very protective of Zach in real life, and on his Hot Ones episode that you should watch, you will fall in love with him. I can't look at the man the same again. I question my sexuality watching that. And we're both changing our styles.
We are, yeah. We're both going to be dressing more like Shia LaBeouf.
We're going to LaBeouf our face, and we're going to LaBeouf our whole outfits.
Our whole look. Got my Timberlands in the mail, basically.
I need to eat more.
Yeah.
I need to get that kind of... He's got a bit of a dirty bulk about him, but Jesus, does he hold it well.
His natural look is buff, which is so annoying because he drops weight all the time for roles and then just gets right back up there.
Straight back up there.
Yeah.
And I lost what I was trying to make the point of there.
We were talking about a protective of Zach, which you see in the Hot Ones episode.
In the Hot Ones, thank you.
You're welcome.
Safety net. In the Hot Ones episode, he talks about how he doesn't like Zach. Shia LaBeouf says that he doesn't like reading, critical responses and reviews and all like that. But for Peanut Butter Falcon, because he knows Zach reads them all and sends them to him, he's so protective. He doesn't want Zach's feelings to be hurt, so he reads them as well.
Yeah.
Which is it's so lovely to hear.
Yeah. We couldn't be more in love with this movie. I have to say,
it's perfect.
It's a perfect movie. It might be one of my favorite movies.
It'll literally warm your heart up and then rip it out of your body at the same time. I can't say more than that, without giving something away.
It's a modern day classic. I
think
in all
it is.
senses of the word. And
it's one of those movies that were kind of snuck under our door, you know? Like, it won a few awards. It actually financially did okay. It made 20 million, and I read that it is... Now, see, sometimes I don't like when I see these definitive sentences, but I read an article that said it was the most successful independent movie of 2019. I never like seeing something so definitive like that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I read. Either way, if you're reading that means it was successful. You know what I mean? Like, it did well for that type of movie, because it's that type of movie that will get destroyed by a Michael Bay movie in the cinema.
All we're saying is give it a chance. It was €2 something on iTunes, wasn't it?
I bought it for €2.50.
Yeah.
I actually feel like donating money to like maybe some sort of Down syndrome foundation after stealing that movie for $2.50.
It's
the emotional wealth I got from that movie was not €2.50.
If this movie was a book, it would be studied in English classes around the world. You'd be forced to read it in English classes, I would say.
Like, we can't, like, we're recommending this movie so heavily.
I know. It might be a better movie than Honey Boy, a movie we also loved.
I think it's better than Honey Boy.
Yeah.
And if you watch a review, you should probably watch a review, because we're awesome.
Episode 49.
You'll see how much we were in love with Honey Boy. But this, I think, is a better movie. Honey Boy is so unique and it's so personal. It's a snapshot of Shia LaBeouf now and a certain point of his childhood and what he went through.
It loses some mass appeal with the fact that it's so specific.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas this movie is mass appeal written all over with intelligent writing.
And now I'm in love with Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm now a creep because of this movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dakota.
Sorry.
And Bruce Dern is in there.
Bruce Dern's in there.
Just dips in there, and so is Mick Foley. And Jake the Snake Roberts is in there as well.
And Sandman from Spider-Man 3.
Never know his name.
Don't know the actor's name. He shows up in so much different stuff.
What is his name?
Thomas Hayden Church.
And he's a great actor as well. But I've always said Sandman.
Sandman, yeah.
Sandman from Spider-Man 3.
Flint Marko.
Yeah.
That's the Sandman.
Shot Uncle Ben, but was forgiven.
Yeah.
And literally went with the wind at the end. Went with the wind at
with
the
his
end.
daughter. To go find his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandman.
That he is the best part of that. Of the villains in that movie, he is the best one, though.
He's one of those actors where his face and his voice tell a story.
Yeah.
You know that way? I feel like he's weathered a few storms. Just from his face and his voice.
I'd be very interested to see if he's done any voice work before, because he
should.
Diedrich Bader is another one who's like, when you see him in movies and everything or hear his voice, he's like, you're like, oh, that guy does animation and stuff, and he does.
Well, he's got a commanding voice, I would say. Your man, Thomas Hayden Church. But yeah, like it's so cool that like Bruce Dern is just kind of snuck in there a bit as well.
Yeah.
Can we just say that Shia LaBeouf punches a kid in the face? I just said it.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. There's a clip right there. Like no context.
No.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf smacks around this. Well, no, he doesn't. He just gives him a solid punch. It is so satisfying.
So satisfying.
He's a bully, okay?
The kid deserves it. And
he's a bully. He drops a hard ore.
Yeah.
And he deserves it. And you know what? This is one thing that's not authentic about the movie.
Yeah.
That kid's head would fly off his shoulders if Shia LaBeouf punched him solid in the face.
That kid would have been dropped like a big bag of potatoes.
But we see those swamp rules then afterwards. Yeah, snitches get stitches.
Hell yeah.
You got some swamp politics going on there. Like, streets recognizes the streets.
That kid got what a lot of people now need, a swift punch in the face where you get to realize, hey, you know what, I was being an asshole.
Okay. Get the fuck off Twitter, okay?
Yeah,
get the fuck off Twitter.
A lot of people nowadays have never been punched in the face, clearly.
Yeah.
Because people go around saying some shit on
bad
Twitter.
Tweet is supposed to equate to a punch in the face. It ain't the same.
No.
Trust me, it ain't the same.
Yeah.
If my dad gave me a bad tweet when I did something wrong, I would laugh at it.
Exactly. Some people need a punch in the face. It humbles you. It really does.
It really does.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And this kid, he does get humbled. And his lesson is learned.
His lesson is learned. Much like a Mark Twain novel, people learn their lessons in this movie.
What can I say?
Anyway, we should move on from how much we like Peanut Butter Falcon. Everyone should go out and watch this movie.
It left me hot and bothered. Like,
Yeah.
I actually, second time watching it, realized, this is a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Or a 7.5 out of 7.5.
Why did you use such an outdated
I know,
rating
I feel
system
like
just there?
an imbecile. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'll let you take over. You take the reins.
Can't believe you even brought that up.
I don't know.
Anyway.
My intellectual
Embarrassing.
capabilities.
Let's move on to Project Power.
Project Power, hello.
It looks awesome. So it's Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and
Other people.
other people in it. Yeah.
Can you believe there's other people in it too?
I cannot. There's so much star power in just 2 names.
Machine Gun Kelly's in it. And Dominique
Fishback.
What a name.
Machine Gun Kelly, by the way, is apparently going out with Megan
Fox.
Yeah.
Hello.
Lucky Machine Gun, eh? Anyway.
What's up with skinny, pale, tattooed dudes like
I
Pete
don't
Davidson? Is he packing heat in his pants as well?
You see, I don't like Machine Gun Kelly because of that whole Eminem thing that went around when he was like feuding with Eminem. So naturally, I side with Eminem. But
I love how, oh man, don't pull me into this street beef going on here,
Yeah.
this gangster beef, but I'm with you, Eminem, you know.
Yeah.
If he asks.
If anyone asks me, I'm like, Machine Gun Kelly's a punk, Eminem rules. But it's funny when he shows up in movies, I tend to kind of be like, oh, he wasn't bad,
Yeah, no, he's not that bad of an actor.
But yeah, I mean, this movie looks awesome. It's basically it sounds like the premise for a graphic novel, but there's a drug that gives you powers for 5 minutes.
It's limitless, but with superhero intent. You know what I mean?
And the powers are random depending on who you are, and the drug may kill you.
Yeah, I wonder if the powers have something to do with your personality.
100%, it's got to be. I'd say
like
it's
Misfits,
like,
I
was just about to say, much like Misfits.
Snatched it out of your mouth.
You did. You snatched it right out of there.
And Misfits do that beautifully, where the storm hits, and whatever you were kind of thinking, or whatever your main personality trait is, that's kind of your power. So if you feel invisible, you're invisible. If you're paranoid, you hear what people are saying about yourself. If you're an absolute slut, you're going to be a mega slut.
Wow. I don't remember.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. The TV show says that, but that's man, yeah.
Out of context, I am cancel city.
Oh yeah, this episode alone. You talked about getting drunk enough to bang drunk people earlier.
Do you know what? Let me give a little bit of backstory to that. There's this dude I know, okay? And I'm not going to mention the name. He won't know he won't know I'm talking about him, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
He's a 1 out of 10. Like,
right.
he's a serious 1 out of 10. Like, dealt terrible hands. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't
Are you
think
sure
his
he
physical
won't
hands.
know who you?
No, he won't. He really won't, because he's a friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing. And this guy he's bad. I won't. There's a certain trait, like the physical trait, that like I could lean into, but I'm not gonna say it. But he's a bad looking dude, and I remember he bedded this beautiful girl, and I remember she was pretty drunk and he was lightly drunk, and I remember in this situation going, he should really quickly get super sauced up, you know that way,
yeah,
because he'll never bed another girl like this ever. I don't want him to miss his opportunity. I know I made it real personal about me. I've actually never been in that situation because I was always too drunk.
Yeah.
I was always too drunk. I'm always coming in a softie, way too drunk. You know that way.
I'm always the one who gets rejected very early in the night and then immediately gets pissed.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna unsatisfy you, but that's how it's gonna
That's
go.
just how it works.
And I remember seeing that situation, and I was in my head. I didn't say it to him, but in my head, I'm like, please, actually catch up, because I want you to go there.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get this situation. You're not going to get this opportunity again.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did.
Yeah.
And he went there. And I high-fived him the next day.
What a man. What a guy who rules.
And I'm cancelled.
No, you're not. This is a comedy podcast. Take everything with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't a true story.
Until the text messages come out, we deny everything.
We deny everything. Delete the files.
Yeah.
Delete the files.
It's deleted on my phone. Project Power.
Project Power. We got to bring it up. I know this is like a dead horse that we keep bringing up, but there's a serious content drought right now because obviously the virus that shall not be named has the cinemas closed,
and Netflix is trying to fill that drought with its action movies.
So we
basically
get those movie boners the minute we just see a trailer for something that looks like it could be fun.
Especially because it's the first trailer for it and it's coming out next month.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what Netflix does all the time.
So
You're
good
like,
at
what
that.
the fuck are you, sneaky
Except
bastards?
The Irishman. I felt like that movie was coming out for like 5 years.
That's because they were waving the flag. We won the bidding war.
Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese. Yeah.
So so we're so happy just like the minute we gravitate towards anything that looks like it's half decent, half entertaining, because Disney dropped the ball, like, it's so badly. They have no content, and the deeper I think about it, I kind of like it makes sense, because like they only started up and then all of a sudden they can't make content.
But even still, Onward isn't even out on the fucking European Netflix.
For the European, they are absolutely fucking us.
Yeah, they really are. They
made us wait like 6 extra months than the rest of the world.
I know.
Like Europe had to wait so long
every single time.
Remember then they spoon fed us. Get this, like think about this. So the Mandalorian, the whole season was had filmed, it had broadcasted in America, and they had confirmed that season 2 was coming out. Season 2 production was underway, and then we get the first 3 episodes, and then they spoon fed us.
They spoon fed us after
the rest
every
of it,
episode after
the
that.
rest.
It's 8 episodes total, so 6 more episodes after that.
No, it'd be 5 then.
Oh, 5. Sorry,
because I think the first 3 dropped.
I can't do maths.
I was the disrespect.
I know.
The bloody disrespect.
The utter disrespect. In The Godfather, you'd be shot for less offense.
Much less.
I relate everything back to mob movies.
I'm hot and bothered now. I am. I'm bleeding hot.
Really,
I gotta
pisses
simmer
me
down
off.
a bit. I gotta simmer down.
Netflix have the right idea though, where they this is a trailer for something coming out in a month. We've been working on it for a while. No need to talk about it because Also, the fun in this trailer is what should have been the Old Guard trailer.
And can I just say, though, Netflix somewhat dropped the ball as well, because all these movies that went on the shelf by production companies like Paramount have a lot of smaller movies. Netflix should have swooped in there and said, "Oh, we'll take that. How much do you want for? We'll take that." Because that's usually what they do anyway.
Yeah.
But they should have doubled down. So I don't think any streaming service really done what they were supposed to do. Amazon as well. Like Amazon, what did he buy? That David Bautista movie that just shit in my eyes.
Stuber.
Yeah, no, not Stuber, Stuber. No, because that came out beforehand.
Oh.
It was the one, Little Spy.
Oh,
Little Spy. You know when you go, the Dave Bautista comedy was just bought by Amazon. It was supposed to come out theatrically, but Amazon just bought it. Like, what is it?
Stuber.
Oh, what is it? Hey, I would take Stuber. I would
me too.
happily take Stuber over this.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being Little Spy. It's a by the book, crappy, child friendly comedy with Dave Bautista and your one Cristin Shaw.
Yeah, I would hope that when Dave Bautista's talking about doing that movie, he's like, I made it for my kids. That's my hope.
That's my hope too.
Yeah.
I was watching it going, oh, mate, I hope he's just trying to, those big muscles, he's just flexing those acting muscles. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I want to go down each avenue. I want to do a bit of
something for
everything.
my kids, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of actors cite bad movies and they're like, I was just doing it for my kids.
Doing it for my kids.
Sorry,
that was just me saying that. Like, I don't think any streaming service has really done us, made us proud, you know, that way in this kind of pandemic time.
I'd agree with that.
But at the same time, when I see something like Project Power, I get super excited because I'm like, oh, it could be good.
Trailer looks fun. It's shot really well. All the action scenes look awesome. It's got a good cast. The dialogue seems good. The premise is there. Honestly, it's just exciting.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun looking. And now I will say, it looks like it could be absolute trash at the same time. It's towing that line of like, oh, this is so fun. Either way, I'm all in.
And also, for some reason, I get excited seeing Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a cop again.
I know, and it's been 8 years since we've seen him as the cop in
Dark Knight
The
Rises.
Dark Knight, Robin, as his name was.
Yeah, his middle name, Robin.
Like the heaviest wink you've ever given us, Christopher Nolan.
Why not just say his second?
That seemed so not Christopher Nolan. Like,
it was
Christopher Nolan, why are you not being Christopher Nolan right now?
What was his police officer's name as well? By the way, that would have been the Nightwing movie we got, I would say. That's what they were leaning towards anyway.
Either way, he looked at Bruce Wayne and decided, oh, you're Batman. He figured that puzzle out.
Yeah, I know.
In a minute.
In a second.
Oh, because I'm an orphan and you're an orphan. Does that mean every orphan looks at
another orphan and thinks
Bruce
they're a
Wayne,
superhero?
Or just knows, oh, I can see your past. Oh, you're Batman.
John Blake, that was his name.
John Blake.
Yeah.
Middle name Robin.
Why not say that his second name was hyphenated and it's Grayson or something? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
Also, Tim Drake is the name of a Robin as well. So
I don't know. But Project Power does look like it could be absolute trash. It kind of looks like Bright in the way that when Bright, the first trailer came out, you see these big actors. You got Joseph Gordon-Levitt and you got Jamie Foxx. That had Joel Edgerton and the magnificent Will Smith. Like the biggest name you could possibly get.
Yeah.
You know, and then actually black and white as well. It's like, oh, we're ticking both boxes there. Two big names, you know, like, you know, Netflix are like, hey, the market's been spread. You know, like,
I know what you mean.
we got us covered. That sounds so problematic.
No, that doesn't sound problematic. Fine. The earlier bits were problematic. This sounds fine.
I don't know what you're talking about. Gonna cut all of that.
By the way, when we go back to Misfits for a second, whose power did you want in Misfits?
Oh, I think I wanted Nathan's.
Really?
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. I wanted Nathan's too.
I wanted his personality and charisma.
I wanted everything about Nathan to be me.
Yeah, it's played by Robert Sheehan, because I know American audiences might not be as familiar with Misfits.
Wouldn't have Misfits.
It was an English production. Yeah. I want to say Channel 4 or E4.
Channel 4, I think, yeah. But I wanted his powers 100%.
Nathan, but I do think a lot of it had to do with Robert Sheehan being Robert Sheehan. And he's from Laois as well, which is like a countryside. You know, it's a small kind of, well, it's not small, but every famous person you think of in Ireland, you always go to the capital. You always think, oh, they're probably from Dublin, even though that's not the fact.
9 times out of 10, never.
Liam Neeson and
Michael Fassbender's from Kerry,
and Pierce Brosnan,
Mayo,
But
anyway, I wanted Nathan's as well, 100%. I wanted to be Nathan, basically. Yeah. I was like, he's the closest to who I actually am, because I was like, he was Irish, and obviously I think I'm funny. I have a movie podcast, so I was like, that's two things.
And it was funny that you thought you were actually funny. I just want to say that Laois is just like a county that's not represented, you know, at all. That's why I wanted to say, like, it's kind of cool that he's from there.
When people try and name the 32 counties, it's one of those ones they go, oh, shit.
That landlocked place.
Yeah, Laos.
People aren't that friendly.
Leash, that's it.
A lot of tractors.
Yeah.
But yeah, Project Power looks fun, but it does look like it could be Bright at the same time. It could be Bright. Because Bright had this high concept just like that. And the first trailer, I was like, ooh, it's in LA, it's gritty, it's David Ayer before he made Suicide Squad.
After.
Oh, no, sorry, it was after. Yeah. Lesson should have been learned.
Yeah,
but
lesson should have been learned.
It wasn't. It was End of Watch. You kind of going, oh, End of Watch is focused on two partners, two cops. Yeah. Except there's orcs and there's all these mythical creatures.
Well, Suicide Squad won an award for makeup, so that's what they leaned into in Bright.
An award? You want to elaborate on that award?
An Oscar.
Suicide
Squad is an Oscar-winning film, and yet I prefer release the Schumacher cut.
You prefer the film that's not even out. I love it. So I really hope though Project Power is good.
Me too.
Check out the trailer.
Check out the trailer. It's awesome. And we're also going to quickly go over Netflix's other exclusive that's going to be coming out.
It's a big one.
A while away.
Oh, it's a good while away.
Yeah.
The production's supposed to start next year, early next year.
Early next year, but it's going to feature Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and written by the Russo brothers.
Take my money.
And was bought for $200 million by Netflix. Oh no, it has a budget.
It wasn't bought. It has a budget
of $200 million.
It's the biggest Netflix movie ever.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I did read an article that was saying that The Irishman, I think the official budget for The Irishman was 165 million. There's a lot of people there like, no,
Probably
come on.
Give us the real number.
You fluffed up the numbers there a bit.
Yeah.
Like, it could be, like, there was people thinking the estimated could be 250 million. But either way, this is the official biggest budget.
The Grey Man.
Netflix movie.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling is signed on to a multi-picture deal for this, as it's going to be like a continuous series. Chris Evans is apparently going to be the cop hunting him in this particular movie.
Yeah, there's like no room for another handsome person. All the handsome is taken up in the room already.
2 people playing.
We only need ugly actors to like maybe Richard Jenkins. I should not have named anyone.
Clint Howard, he's a go-to.
Why not? Yeah. They know their brand.
Yeah.
They've never been the hunk that's like, it's not like Steal Your Girl Jenkins over there, you know what I mean?
No. But Chris Evans, my favorite Avenger. Ryan Gosling, my favorite driver ever.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so I can't wait for this movie.
What a pairing.
And Russo brothers as well, who only get good performances out of Chris Evans.
I know. Yeah. And now Ryan Gosling, as you said, so Ryan Gosling is like the main star of this. He's like a former CIA agent turned like, not mercenary, assassin. Turned assassin. He's the Grey Man, which is, it's called, as you said, the Grey Man. And it's supposed to be about Chris Evans. He's like his former trainer or head honcho at the CIA who, was above him at one point, and he's hunting him down. Very much so like the Bourne movies.
Yeah, Bourne movies, or a bit like The Fugitive. Kind
sure.
of. Don't know if we're going to get a Tommy Lee Jones performance from Chris Evans.
Oh, give me it.
Even though I would like to see it.
But either way, it sounds like...
I don't care.
Chris Evans could die at the end of this.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd like to see them.
Spoiler alert! Like, obviously, I'm just
no, but if he's
speculating.
If he's not coming back afterwards, anything could happen.
But at the same time, maybe he does come back.
Flashbacks.
Or not even that. Like, maybe he doesn't die.
Yeah.
But his story arc is finished. He gets maimed.
Yeah.
By Ryan Gosling at the end.
I love that. That's the end of his story arc. Ryan Gosling maims him, and then his story is over.
He's over. Yeah. Back of the bus you go.
Ruins his beautifully handsome face.
Either way, we're so far away from this. Obviously, happening. I read that they're aiming to start filming in January of next year, but that means it's not going to come out till at least January or May. No, I think it'd probably be too early for December 2021. Even that would be a great time, that seasonal release.
Yeah, we shall see. I'm excited about this. More excited about this than Project Power, but.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sure, we didn't even know Project Power existed.
No, but
we're excited about this, and it hasn't even started filming. It's just in development, and we have only got 2 actors.
Yeah,
2
actors, and then 2 great directors / producers / writers.
Do you need any other information to get excited?
Really.
The $200 million thrown at it as well. Like, I'm like, okay.
That's after Extraction, though. That's like, oh man, Extraction was amazing.
But that had a $65 million budget, and that looks amazing. What are the Russos going to do with a film that's set in the real world?
Yeah,
with $200 million, everything. I think it's going to look like a James Bond movie.
Are they going to direct it?
Yeah. No, they're directing it.
Awesome. I'm very excited about that.
Me too.
All right, now with a follow-up story that we were talking about last week, the GCPD TV series, they put out, I think directly after we filmed the episode, they announced that it would be a prequel series to the new movie.
And we should say this is the Batman, the Matt Reeves
Batman,
the Batman
GCPD Gotham
television series that we were not happy about last week.
No, we really weren't happy about it.
So this is like a HBO show, quotation marks for anyone who's listening, because we don't know what's HBO Max and what's HBO and what's Warner Television. But this is going to be set in the same universe. We were very unhappy that it might devalue the product of the Batman, the movie that we've been fighting in its corner right from the start. Bobby Pat's, I understand you don't like him, but come on, he can make a great Batman.
Yeah.
And then it just shit in our face.
I don't know. It's I mean, I'm glad it's a prequel.
Me too.
Makes more sense. We just saw the prequel though with Gotham, which is so stupid. Like,
because we were like, oh, it sounds like Gotham, but except there's going to be an actual Batman, you know, because Gotham obviously is years before, and Batman's a kid. But now we're like, no, it's Gotham. Yeah, like Gotham just ended last year,
and like I was kind of trying to figure out how I wanted this, and I said to you, like, I could understand liking this if it was going to be a limited series, 6 to 8 episodes, and it was just a build up to the movie, and then that was it. They never went near it again, you know?
You know what? You said that to me, and I thought that's like I'd be into that too. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, but this is going to come out after.
Yeah, I know.
So it's so weird.
There's no way that this will be like that, and that, like, people don't make shows like that now. They just don't. There's no limited series anymore. And
here's the thing. Well, there is a few, but very
few.
It's scarce. Sometimes Netflix drops a few. Like that Godless was supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
Remember Netflix made that? I haven't watched it. But what I was going to say is, I was thinking, okay, so it reminds me of like Daredevil in the Netflix universe when that was supposed to be part of the MCU. But you know, if Daredevil isn't good, you're like, no, it's not. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You go, oh, it's supposed to be part of the MCU. No, it's not. What's going to be so weird is the Batman comes out, then the prequel series comes out. Are we just going to be like, oh, we don't want it to devalue the Batman, so we're just going to be like, no, it's not part of it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm just going to disregard it. I don't think it's going to be that good, and I think I'm just going to be like, it doesn't really exist.
I don't know if the TV show will be capable of delivering if it will have the tools it needs to deliver a good story like that. Like,
and it's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
I don't think they're going to get the actors in.
Like, is Jeffrey Wright? So Jeffrey Wright is Commissioner Gordon.
Are we going to get Colin Farrell's rise to power as the Penguin? No, definitely not.
So Penguin's out.
Yeah, Penguin's out. Are we going to get Paul Dano as the Riddler? Maybe for one scene. You know,
I think Riddler's out. I think Riddler's out. Also, do we want to waste any good villains that might pop up later?
Exactly.
Because, like, what actor are you going to get? Like, what big television... not big television actor, that's the problem. What big Hollywood actor is going to be like... Is Ryan Gosling going to be like, oh, yeah, I'll dip in for this role that you need me with?
Is the fan casting of Matthew McConaughey as Two-Face going to be like, oh, I'll show up in the TV show?
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. No problem.
I'll play Harvey Dent in the TV show.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many doubts I have about the quality of this show, and even when there's good news that it is a prequel comes out, it still doesn't improve my opinion on it in any way, really. And
at the same time, hey, we're not hateful. Prove us wrong, please.
Please prove us wrong. I want to be proven wrong. Tell me that Colin Farrell has agreed to be in every episode, or whatever.
But I don't even want them in it.
Neither
do I. Don't want them in it.
Yeah.
Like, talking about devaluing a product.
Yeah.
Hey, well, Colin Farrell just made Artemis Fowl. Don't care. He was amazing in it and so handsome.
Yeah. He was.
He was excellent in it. He was
the best part.
One of the best sources of just good acting in that whole film. Oh wait, and
one
Judi
of the
Dench.
only and Judi Dench. Yeah. Top of the morning to you.
No, more bass. It needs more bass.
Top of the morning.
There's Judy right there.
There's
the
Judy.
Trans cat herself.
That's what she says when she wakes up to her husband every morning. Top of the morning to you.
And he's like, "Oh, it's on. I'm pitching a tent."
He's like, "That's a nice leg."
Let's do this.
Yeah.
But either way, we still are not sold on this TV series. It is nice to hear that.
And we never will be.
If it's great, I still won't agree to it.
Yeah. No, I hope it's good. Probably won't be. That's all I can say. If
weird choice.
If they're like, it's going to take place just after the murder of Bruce Wayne's parents, I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out. I'm gonna oh
no, I want to see them murdered though again. I need to see them murdered again.
Well, we're gonna get that in the movie anyway.
Yeah, but I want to see it twice.
Yeah, you want to see it on the TV.
In this one universe, I want to see it twice, played by different actors, because that's what it's going to be like.
I was going to say, it'll be different actors, and I want to see which one of them is like Martha Wayne going to break out her Muay Thai skills to try and take someone down.
Martha Wayne's going to do this?
Yeah, Martha Wayne this time.
She's a badass in this
woke.
One.
Yeah.
Yes, she's going to take that pearl necklace and she's going to strangle a bitch with it.
And then that's how it breaks. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I hope they get.
She's too badass for her own pearls.
This is so stupid, but if they do show them being shot, I swear to God, if another scene pisses me off of them being shot, I'm annoyed at myself at how annoyed it makes me thinking about that scene. But if they fuck up Bruce Wayne's parents' death again, I'll be furious. Anyway,
It's a bit personal for you, isn't it?
It is personal for me.
I can tell.
Listen, they won't put my favorite character on screen, Dick Grayson. They'll kill him
No,
off
he's
off
dead.
screen.
He's dead. DCEU killed him.
They just won't put him up.
Zach sneakily killed him.
So if you're not going to do that, you could at least get the second my fucking favorite right. You know? Anyway. Project Power. No, we weren't talking about that.
Oh, yeah, we're going to finish up with Tenet.
Tenet, yes.
So Tenet's coming out. Maybe in
Eventually.
August. But now we found out that this is a big deal.
Yeah.
China doesn't want to release the movie.
No, because they say it's too long to be put in cinemas.
Now, at first we were like, what?
What are you talking about? But then when you think about the virus that shall not be named, must and shall not be named.
Must and shall not. I like it.
You cannot have so many people sitting around in such a cramped space in an environment watching a movie that is over 2 hours long. Totally makes sense.
That's their rule. That's literally China's rule now. They're going to reopen the cinemas provisionally on the 20th of July. Now, I mean, dates mean nothing during this pandemic. Like, it means nothing. It really does. It's everything's provisional. Everything's like, we'll pencil that in with the eraser at the ready.
Yeah.
At the ready. I feel like people write it down and erase it and like, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's how all of Tenet's release dates are written. What Christopher Nolan doesn't know is they write them in erasable pen. Yeah. Because he's like, oh, you wrote it in pen, it must be significant. He's like, no, buddy, it's erasable.
Exactly. The guy's got Tipex for days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was their new rule. China want to open up their theaters on 20th of July, but they don't want any movie to be over 2 hours long. Now, the minute I just read the headline of like Tenet will not be released by China, I'm like, what the fuck? And then I read about it. Like, you got to remember as well. I know there's some people that might live in a country that hasn't been completely destroyed by this virus, but like the likes of Italy and the likes of China, like they've been battered, ravaged, and bruised by the virus that shall not be named. So it's like, how can you like argue?
No, you really can't.
We were just saying there off air, get Palm Springs in there, that tight 90 minutes.
You need a movie like that nowadays, you know.
And I bet it's not released in China. I bet Hulu's not in China.
And I bet if a European release of that movie would do really well as well. Get that in the cinemas as quickly as possible in Europe, and you'll make so much money.
And what a nice little tester of how warm the water is.
Yeah.
Something like Palm Springs, it doesn't really need to make that much money.
No.
Like, it doesn't. It costs $5 million to make.
It's already crushing on Hulu anyway, so why not put it out?
It was a good purchase for them.
Yeah. So that's kind of all the news. We might rattle off. I have a few more things written down. We'll just rattle off quickly.
Let's dive in.
Noah Centineo is cast as Atom Smasher in Black Adam, or as Ian put it, Who was cast as Who in Black Adam.
But hey, there's Black Adam casting. Yeah. That's exciting.
That's weird.
There's things moving.
Yeah. They're working cogs.
Literally, they gave us a date and then ran off.
Yeah, exactly. The Uncharted movie began filming.
Finally. Now, that cool. Just started. I think the first day that it started, it was shut down.
Yeah. But, you know,
how disheartening must that be? Stopped. This movie was in development hell for so long. And then the minute they start filming, it's like, shut down.
Mark Wahlberg grew that mustache for no reason now. He has to shave it off. It's a new Star Wars series about the Bad Batch, which are characters who featured in the Clone Wars. Animated series. Dave Filoni will have his hands all over.
Of course, because it's Dave Filoni and Star Wars.
It's probably going to be amazing. Can't wait to watch it.
Finger in every Star Wars pie. He's got toes in them and everything.
I'm glad he's got a fingers in every Star Wars pie.
He got no digits left, man.
I'd like if he pushed a few other people's fingers out of those pies, if you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Get that neck out of that pie.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Chucky TV series got its first teaser trailer coming out in 2021. It will be the continuation of Don Mancini's Chucky universe. Brad Dourif is signed on. He has been the voice of Chucky since the 80s.
Oh, really? That's cool. You know your Chucky stuff.
I do. I like Chucky. Chucky's my favorite horror series. Actually, there's another one. Potentially, but I can't remember. Chucky, anyway.
Scary movie. Nailed it.
I like Scream. I can tell you that much. I like the very first Scream. And Jennifer Tilly signed on as well.
Cool.
So that's going to be cool. Hunk and Skunk.
Who do we give Hunk to?
Well, we agreed before this that we couldn't give it to Shia LaBeouf 2 weeks in a row, even though we wanted to. Zach Guten
Gottsagen.
That's it.
Zach Gottsagen.
Zach Gottsagen, you are a hunk of the week.
Easily, like it goes above and beyond his acting. Like never acted in a film before.
Yeah.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah.
Nails it.
We've fallen in love with him, just like Shia LaBeouf has. I think.
Exactly. He's such an endearing character.
Yeah. And then Skunk.
Skunk goes to China for not money messing.
Can't give them Skunk now because they've
because
much
they're
bad
being
shit
like
has happened.
safe and careful.
Yeah, I know. Was there any bad news?
I don't know what.
We kind of ragged on
Skunk
GCPD, but I don't want to give it Skunk.
Yeah, I know. I mean, or prequels in general. You know, like.
Yeah. We gave it to Father Time last week. That was hilarious.
That was a weird move.
I liked it.
What about we give it to my friend who got... No, we can't do that either. Give it to me for telling that story. How about that?
No, we can never be Hunk or Skunk. That's the power we have. To give it to us would break the rule.
Yeah.
There must be something. Let's give it to Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yes, and you will understand that reference when you watch Peanut Butter Falcon,
which means there's homework for this episode of Straight to Series,
and we'll be correcting that next week.
We'll be correcting that next week. I want it on my desk by Friday next week. Yeah. So the rule is to understand our Skunk of the Week joke. You have to watch Peanut Butter Falcon.
You won't be let down.
You won't be let down. Jake the Snake Roberts, we love you, but my God, you're a bastard in that movie.
Oh, you are a piece of shit.
And on that shitty note, we're going to end episode 51 of Straight to Series.
And maybe like and subscribe.
Subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Most social media platforms and most podcast platforms you can find us on. Almost all of them.
Please keep listening and streaming and everything. And
thanks for spending your time with us.
Thank you. Yeah. We appreciate it.
And we will catch you next week.
Yeah, we will. What are we going to do next week?
Don't know.
Yeah,
Don't know. Mixed bag. Surprise.
Even
to me. So, see you then.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye. What's rule number 1?
Party!
Yeah!